What's going on, everyone? Austin John Plays here, and today I'm going to be going over my preferred method for shiny hunting that I think might be the most effective in Pokemon Legends Arceus. This is a spoiler-free video. I really want you to experience this game on your own, all the Pokemon, so this video is not going to be showing you any new forms that have not been shown in official media. Specifically in this video, I'm going to be going over Mass Outbreaks. Now, Mass Outbreaks increase a Pokemon's chance of being shiny during this very small limited pool from as low as 1 out of 158 to as high as 1 out of 128, with variables being of your current research level and if you have the shiny charm or not. In my opinion, you should not wait until having the shiny charm to do these things because, well, that's the very post game and it's a long way down the road, but just having a Pokedex entry filled out and having level 10 of the Pokedex entry can dramatically increase your chances. So I'm going to be going over all those factors and more. Now, when do mass outbreaks begin appearing? They begin appearing even before you get access to Weirdeer. Soon as you get the ability to cross this bridge here at Aspiration Hill, you can then have mass outbreaks appearing on your map. It should be noted that the more areas that you unlock, the more chances of you actually experiencing one of the 5 regions having a mass outbreak. As you can see right here, we have Carnivine and we have Croagunk. Me personally, I have an Excel sheet of every Pokemon that I've ever obtained shiny that's currently in my Pokemon home. So I just look at this and I'm like, well, is this a Pokemon I would want shiny? If it is, while you're playing through the game, nice and casually, just go there, clear the mass outbreak. You might get lucky. You might get a shiny. You might get an alpha. Let's go to the Carnivine over here. The locations of where the mass outbreak is going to be taking place are predetermined based on the Pokemon and the region. Carnivine over here, I think only spawns 8, maybe 7. However, if you find a Magikarp, I think Magikarp is 12. There's large variables going on here. And if you just want to catch them nice and easy and make your way through, just get some jet balls, stay in the grass, stay outside of detection range, and catch all the Pokemon. Cool. And it says the reported Pokemon is gone. Now we're just going to speak to the professor, log our results, and zone out of here. As you're playing through the game, I recommend just casually going through. Just go, catch the Pokemon, you might get lucky. And it helps fill out your Pokedex, so that's cool too. Like for that, those were tasks that I already completed this Pokedex entry, but I got 60 points toward my 9-star rank. Fantastic. Now I'm going to be covering if you want to hunt an alpha shiny in regard to the placed ones on the map and the random ones. If you're not familiar, after you clear out an area's frenzied noble Pokemon, that area then has a chance for any random Pokemon to be an alpha. Unlike this Rapidash here, who's placed here from the very beginning of the game. Every time you zone out and zone back in, as long as the day or night conditions or the weather conditions are corresponding to that Pokemon, it will show up. And every time that you zone in on the map, that Pokemon will have its base shiny rates applied. Meaning that if you have research level 10 for that Pokemon, it has 1 out of 2048. And likewise, if you perfect the Pokedex page. Now, when I say perfect the Pokedex page, I mean that if I were to look at Togepi over here, I would need to catch 15, 5 of them small, 10 without being spotted, 1 while sleeping, use Draining Kiss 25 times, give it food 5 times, and evolve it 3 times. That's a perfect page. In my opinion, perfect pages don't serve a lot of purpose other than if you want to actively shiny hunt a Pokemon, most likely an alpha. With a perfected Pokedex page, that means that that Pokemon's shiny rate goes from 1 out of 1024, effectively doubling your odds. So that little bit of time that you put in could very much so be worth it. If you get level 10 of every single Pokemon's Pokedex entry and complete the game, you have a chance to get the shiny charm. The shiny charm then brings those odds to 1 out of 819. And with perfect dex page and shiny charm combined, it's 1 out of 585. After you complete the area, as I mentioned, every Pokemon has a chance to be an alpha, such as this little Wurmple over here. Every single Pokemon has I believe it's like 0.5 to 2% chance for any random Pokemon to be an alpha. Say for example, an alpha Shinx, Luxio, or Luxray, you could come through here, you know that there's an alpha Luxio, and you know that there's a whole bunch of Luxio, Luxray, and Shinx. So you want to check all of them at the chance that one of them is going to be an alpha or a random shiny. That's cool. Since Past Austin is about to lose his train of thought because of the thing that he missed, what he meant to say was you also want to check all of the staged encounters, and you also want to check all of the wild Pokemon of the same species if you're going for one specific alpha from an evolutionary line. Talking about random shinies. First thing you want to do, settings, disable autosaves, save the game, and then encounter the Pokemon. Random shiny Kadabra just showed up, so that's cool. If it was an Abra, I'd be much more scared because those boys are very timid. I love this game. This game is so good for content. Oh, it used teleport. That's why we always save beforehand. I'm just gonna throw apricorns in your face, and now Ultra Ball to the back of the head. Nope, we got it. Great. You may see people who have so many random shiny Pokemon, and honestly, that just comes from zoning in and out of the map, exploring the map. You could just get on Weird Ear, run through an entire area, and the more you go through the area, the greater of chance you have at just coming across one Pokemon randomly being shiny. That's how you know it's a good shiny video, when Austin finds a shiny Pokemon in it. And just a pro tip. After you're done encountering that random shiny, you may want to go into your settings and turn autosaves back on. The game can crash. It's happened to me. Now, what if you come across something really spicy? And by really spicy, I mean a Pokemon with a new evolution or regional form that may not be available in future games. Shown in official media, we have the Scyther line, we have the Stantler line, we have Basculin line, we have the Zorora line, we have Rufflet line, we have Growlithe line, and we have the Voltorb line. Not shown in official media, but still spoiler-free, we have the Petalil line, the Goomy line, the Ursaring line, and the Bergmite line. In addition, there is a new regional variant of Sneasel that has a new spicy thing. The regional variant has a regional evolution. And there is now a regional Quillfish that was hinted at in Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl when reading The Legend of the Sea. I believe that's the name of it. And if you find those regional variants and those show up on the map, you may want to go after those shiny. Now, what happens if you come across something spicy? Like Austin did right here. We have a mass outbreak of Zora. There were many methods that were put out on Australian release day and American release day that had a lot of contradicting information. And I'll tell you this, I tested 7 shiny hunting methods. 3 of them were unsuccessful. I informed those people and most of them have actually taken down their videos or made corrections. 2 of them produced mixed results that were unstable. 1 of them was flawless and 1 of them was also flawless, but the 2 are different and I'm gonna be going over that now. If you are planning on just doing the same one Pokemon over and over and using a series of spamming the save and RNG in order to get that Pokemon shiny, then there's a few things that I'm going to recommend. 1, you should not do this early on. I mean, if it's a Magikarp or something, you're fine. But if it's a Pokemon with a inconsistent catch rate, you may want to wait till you're in the end game and you can successfully just get a bunch of Jet Balls. And you may need some smoke bombs depending on the location. I personally like to take everything out of my inventory except for the items that I will need for this. In addition, the Pokeball should be the first item, because when you reload from a save, the first item in your inventory that can be used in the field, in this case, it's not the Stealth Spray, it's the Jet Ball, is going to be the first highlighted item. When I arrive down at camp, we're going to turn off autosaves, and we're going to manually save the game. You're going to want to definitely put down a waypoint, so that way as soon as you land, you're going to know exactly where you have to go. Now, the method I'm mostly going to be using here was first found by my personal friend and fellow YouTuber, Philly Beats You. He posted this video on Australian release day, and to be honest with you, I'm going to be providing pretty much no new information from here on out. However, I am going to be explaining it in the way that I explain things, which you may like, so feel free to keep watching the video. From what I have found, you're best off going and touching the zone that says that the mass outbreak was found. Then, save your game. I don't know if this does anything, I've just had better results this way. From here, I'm just gonna go ahead and catch all of the Pokemon. Also, I'm on a hill, so my Jet Balls are being wonky. If the Pokemon are ganging up on you, just run away a little bit. My favorite part about the Smoke Bomb is that I can just stand up and catch things. I don't need to be crouched for it. As soon as you start to see that there are less than 4 Pokemon, you know that no new Pokemon are going to be spawning in. I only have 2 left, so I know for a fact I will not have a shiny, I will not have an alpha spawn. I'm going to close the game, and we're going to reopen the game. This is going to put us right back down at that outbreak. We load back into the game, we're going right back to camp. So now, in my mind, I've locked in that spawn. I'm going to save the game at the camp. Because from here, now we're going to go back to town, and when you go from the camp into town, the Pokemon Mass Outbreaks are going to change. And there's a chance that Zora remains there. In this case, it did. And there's a chance that it's not going to remain there. If it does not remain there, you turn the game off, turn it back on, repeat exactly what I just said, just come back to town, and there's a chance it will be there. Soon as you arrive at the camp, put down a save. A lot of people don't include that piece of information, and that's very important, because when you put down the save at camp, think about it. You spawned in the Pokemon, right? You didn't find the shiny that you wanted, so you reset the game. Then, you went back to town, and you came back here. That draws a new table of Pokemon. Every single time that you come back to the map, it's important that you put down a new save, because that's going to keep progressing and changing the spawn table. Let's put down our Smoke Bomb, take a look at the Mass Outbreak of these little sad ghosty boys. May also be a good idea to bring some apricorns, balls of mud, or something else in order to get yourself aggro Pokemon to stop aggroing you. However, as you can see, we're only down to 3 of them. That means that no more are going to be spawning in. So because of that, we're going to take the game, turn it off, turn it back on. This is the new save that we created at camp. And from here, we're going to be going back to the village, and we're going to go back to the map. We still have the Zora, great. We're going to go to the Ice Peak camp. And again, when arriving at camp, we're going to put down that hard save. This is also your opportunity in case you want to make any changes in your hunting method, because now you've encountered these Pokemon several times and you're like, well, I may need stronger Pokeballs, or it may be a good idea to bring some items to help stun them. If you do make any changes to your loadout, save your game again, because that's always going to be your anchor point going forward. I personally have done this 6 times. My fastest hunt took me about 10 minutes. My longest hunt took me an hour and a half. However, it's very rare that it takes over a half hour for me. And the fact that by doing this method, mostly found by my friend, Philly Beats You, you can get a shiny Pokemon in under a half hour of the exact Pokemon you want is pretty great. Feel free to go all out, and just like burn off any items that you have here, because unless you find the shiny Pokemon, anything that you're doing right now is not gonna matter. Yo, this hill is really messing up my throwing arc. Seriously, the jet balls are just not working right now. Now come down to only 2 Zoras, and I know that I'm not going to be finding myself a shiny. Turn the game off, turn it back on. I had a lot of trouble with the throwing arc of the jet balls. I think I'm going to bring some Ultra Balls with me. Nice open flatlands. The jet balls are fantastic. Even if you can get your exact arc right, you're good. But on hills, it really does not like hills. Zora is still there, fantastic. My changes to my loadout, Scatterbangs did not work, and grabbing Ultra Balls. Gonna put down a save. If you're encountering a Pokemon that may be a little difficult or dicey for you, say for example these Zora, and it's just, they're defeating you, you're not having a fun time, there is an alternative method of not actually encountering the Pokemon, but instead just flying overhead, checking the 4, restarting the game, and instead of going through the whole batch, you're just checking the 4. It's significantly safer, but you are checking less Pokemon at the same time. So it's your option on what you want to do. Oh yeah, the Ultra Ball throwing arc, significantly more reliable. And we cleared out the entire batch without any issues. See? That's the importance of changing the loadout, changing your strategy. I may be a professional gamer. That doesn't mean that I'm knowing what I'm doing every single time with every single Pokemon, because all of them act different. And now, we just repeat the steps. We go back to the village, we still have the same spawn, we go back to camp, and we put down a new save. I think the only change I would make to my loadout is that I want my ball of mud to the left of my Ultra Ball. No luck? Reset the game. No shiny. Reset the game. And that's another batch caught, none of them shiny, we reset the game. And another batch, no shinies, we reset the game. Now you may be discouraged while doing this and feel like you're not even doing this right, you can very easily see if you are doing it right by just coming to the Pokemon that you caught on one instance, take screenshots of any of them, all of them, reset the game, do the method again, and compare the Pokemon that you encountered both times. If there are no overlapping Pokemon, then you know 100% you're doing it right. I always second guess myself. I'm like, is this working? Am I doing this right? I haven't seen Alpha pop up. I've been doing this for 36 minutes. Where's my shiny Pokemon? Things go awry, gets a little dicey. Don't be afraid to just run away a little bit. What's that sound? Oh, it's Alpha Abomus now. Another batch cleared out, still no shiny. Let's go back to camp and actually just double check, make sure that the Pokemon are different. I just make note of the level and the stats, and in theory, it should match none of them. A level 28 with 90 HP. 28, nope. 28, 90 HP. Okay, the next stat was 73 attack. This is 66 attack. You know, I can confirm 100% all of these Pokemon are different, so we are doing this right. Turn the game off, turn it back on. Oh, he's sleeping. He's caught, and we've cleared out another group with no shiny. Reset the game. Excuse me, sir? Sir, how did you spawn in the rock? No shiny. And we reset. Time to reset. He isn't shiny, I'm resetting. Turn off, turn it back on. But, time to reset. We heard it! We heard it! Where is he? Oh, there he is! He's very clearly the one with the blue flames. Alright, that took almost 2 hours. Well, it was 2 hours from the beginning of the video recording, and oh, he is nice and blue. I don't have any blue balls. I don't have any blue balls. Let's get ourselves a nice blue ball. I think I want him in a jet ball. Plus, maybe we come from a better angle and see him better. Please don't be behind the rock during the shine animation. Great. Hopefully one of those frames works. As always, we have to initiate the battle. Nice. Yeah, he is just beautiful blue and white. Jet ball right off of the start. Fantastic! There we go! So in this video, we found the full odds Kadabra. And we hunted for shiny Aurora. And he is just the sweetest boy, isn't he? Yes, he is. Guys, thank you so much for checking out this video on the shiny hunting method that I prefer to use in Pokemon Legends Arceus. If you found it helpful, do me a favor, hit the thumbs up button down below. If you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe, turn on notifications. Until next time, Austin John out.